what's happened to you? And I said, oh, yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night to this rash and and he said, woogie. I said, what do you mean woogie?
Pulls away this time, well in front of square, and for 4.
Deserved 100.
Yes, he should be happy. He's put a lot of effort into that.
Jacques Kallis remains an icon in a world where cricketing legends are born and fade away. A true great whose on-field prowess and off-field humility inspired a generation. He is famous to many as the Prince of Proteas, thanks to his mastery with a bat and ball.
That one very short and nicely played away for 4. That's Kallis' first boundary.
With a career spanning over 2 decades and 282 wins, Jacques Kallis is undoubtedly one of the best players the game has ever seen with his clutch wins, multiple Team of the Year awards, and recognition as the best player in consistent years. But just how good was Jacques Kallis? Unlike most kids, Kallis found his purpose quite early. From a young age, he already knew what he wanted to become and what he needed to do to get there. While attending Wynberg Boys High School,
he's all class, Jacques Kallis, and that is Test century number 44.
The 11-year-old Kallis was already putting in the work as he started playing with kids over half a decade older than him for the school's team. At that age, most of his mates were probably thinking of how to get more snacks after a meal. When the youngster turned 17, he represented his country's under-19s team. Even though he was playing with older teens, supposedly stronger and faster, Kallis still stood out, and as he turned 18, he made his first-class debut in 1993 for Western Province B. The following year, he played league cricket in England for Old Edwardians in Solihull. Jacques Kallis surprised everyone with how quickly he learned the game.
Full toss, smashed, out the park, 6 runs. Fantastically done by Jacques Kallis.
Coaches saw something special in him, noticing his strong desire to improve and how quickly he picked up new skills. They believed that with a little more experience, Kallis could become a top all-rounder in the sport. The following summer, Kallis proved them right by playing for Netherfield in Kendal, where he scored an incredible 791 runs across 14 matches with an average of 98.87. This performance was so impressive that it didn't take long for him to be called up for his first Test match in December 1995, playing against England in Durban. Although Kallis struggled initially, he didn't let it discourage him. His eyes were set on something more significant, the World Cup debut in 1996 in Pakistan. Despite not getting many opportunities to shine in the World Cup, Kallis didn't give up, and his determination paid off in 1997 when he scored 61 runs in a match against Pakistan. 2 games later, he secured a draw for South Africa with a century against Australia at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. This moment was a turning point in his career, showing the world that Kallis was a player to watch. By 1998, only 5 years after his debut, Jacques Kallis had made such a significant impact that he was recognized as one of the world's leading all-rounders.
Kallis goes big this time. So it's raining 6s here at SuperSport Park.
As reflected in the ICC's cricket ratings, Jacques Kallis led South Africa to victory in the ICC Champions Trophy, where he was named Man of the Match twice and earned the Player of the Series award. Jacques Kallis faced a tough challenge in his 7th Test match against a fierce Australian bowling attack that included legends like Glenn McGrath and Shane Warne. Despite the pressure, Kallis stood firm and scored a crucial century in the 2nd innings, which helped South Africa draw the Test. It was a gritty performance, with Kallis spending 357 minutes at the crease while his teammates struggled. This effort hinted at the greatness that lay ahead in his career. The 1998 Champions Trophy was a highlight in Kallis's career, marking the only limited overs trophy he won.
In Durban, playing the short ball, that's cut away. Beautiful shot behind point. Backward is square on the offside.
In the semi-final against Sri Lanka, Kallis was unstoppable. He scored an unbeaten 113 off 100 balls, helping South Africa set a total of 240. Rain affected the game, but South Africa won by 92 runs using the D to L method. Kallis wasn't done yet. In the final against the West Indies, he showed his all-round brilliance by taking 5 wickets for just 30 runs. Although he scored only 37 runs, his contribution with the ball was vital in South Africa's victory. This win secured their first and only ICC trophy, and Kallis once again proved why he was such a crucial player to the Proteas. The following year, although he was steady rather than flashy, Kallis continued to make his mark, and in the 1999 ICC Cricket World Cup, he once again walked away with the Player of the Series award. For many in South Africa, the 1999 World Cup is a memory they'd rather forget. But if you look at the record books, one performance stands out: Jacques Kallis's game against New Zealand at Edgbaston. South Africa batted first, and after solid starts from Gary Kirsten and Herschel Gibbs, Kallis took charge. He smashed an unbeaten 53 runs off just 36 balls, pushing his team's total to 287. But Kallis didn't stop there. He opened the bowling and took 2 wickets for just 15 runs, leading South Africa to a strong 74-run victory. The now 25-year-old Kallis successfully carried his incredible form into the new millennium. As in 2000, he led South Africa to an incredible Test Series victory against India on their home turf. Before this triumph, critics had always emphasized that Kallis could only achieve greatness in his own country.
The 7-5 now.
Still, his outstanding performance in India silenced those doubts and earned him respect even from his haters. By the end of 2001, Kallis had become the world's #1 ranked Test all-rounder, holding the top spot in ODIs for nearly 3 years. During this period, he also established himself as one of the world's leading batsmen, known for his near-perfect defensive technique and unwavering determination, much like the steadfast Cape Point limpet. Usually calm and reserved, Kallis secured the crucial #3 position in South Africa's batting order, where many others had tried and failed. From that moment on, his reputation and stature in the cricket world soared, making him one of the most dependable and respected players of his time. Jacques Kallis continued to shine as one of the world's best batsmen, maintaining an impressive average year after year. During the 2003 to 2004 season, Jacques Kallis found himself in incredible form, scoring 5 centuries in 5 consecutive Test matches. The first 4 came against the West Indies on home soil in South Africa, followed by an unbeaten 150 in New Zealand. The peak of this hot streak was during the 2004 New Year's Test, where Kallis scored 2 unbeaten centuries of 130 in the exact match. Though South Africa only managed a draw, Kallis's remarkable consistency was undeniable. In 2005, he struck gold again. The cricket world united to support the victims of the devastating 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami by organizing a benefit match. A World T1 team was set to play against an Asian Tourmont team, with all proceeds going to help those affected by the disaster. The organizers did not doubt choosing Kallis and his countryman Sean Pollock to be part of this special event. Kallis was selected for his exceptional skills in both batting and bowling, making him a key player in the lineup. The match occurred at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in Australia on January 10, 2005.
That's not hurting so much, except Stuart McGill's bowling figures.
The World T20 team emerged victorious, winning by 112 runs. Kallis played a crucial role, scoring 39 runs and taking 2 important wickets. It was a hard-fought game, with both teams giving their best for a noble cause. Jacques Kallis was honored with the Sir Garfield Sobers Trophy as the ICC Player of the Year the same year. After the votes ended in a tie, he shared this prestigious award with England's Andrew Flintoff, his closest rival as the world's top all-rounder. Kallis also won the ICC Test Player of the Year award. In 2006, Kallis faced a new challenge. He was handed the captaincy of South Africa for the 3rd and final Test match against Australia, when regular captain Graham Smith had to withdraw due to an injury. This was a significant moment for Kallis, who had never led his country. The match was held at the Waka Ground in Perth, and Kallis confidently stepped into the role. Under his leadership, South Africa won the third Test match by 7 wickets, securing a 2-0 series victory over Australia. Kallis played a crucial part, scoring 57 vital runs in the second inning. His captaincy debut was a success, showing his leadership skills, even if he never captained South Africa again. In 2007, Jacques Kallis faced a daunting challenge against Pakistan's sharp pace attack of Mohammad Asif and Umar Gul on their home ground. On a tricky wicket in Karachi, Kallis seized the opportunity to shine. He scored his 25th Test century with a brilliant 155 runs off 249 balls, helping South Africa post a solid 450 in the first innings. But Kallis wasn't finished yet. In the second inning, he added another century, making 100 runs off 201 balls. His outstanding performance led South Africa to a decisive 160-run victory, reaffirming his status as one of his generation's most dependable and skilled cricketers. Still, as expected, every good run must end. Kallis's prime, which had lasted for over a decade, was at its end. In 2008, Jacques Kallis faced a new challenge. With the retirement of Sean Pollock, more responsibility was placed on him as an all-rounder. While a young all-rounder named Wayne Parnell started to show promise with some good lower-order batting, Kallis struggled with the bat that year. It was unusual for him to have such a tough time, but his batting average dropped below 30. Even against Bangladesh, ranked 9th in the world, Kallis averaged just 25.75 in 4 Test matches. Kallis also played in the Indian Premier League for the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Unfortunately, his performance there was also disappointing. He averaged only 16.85 runs per inning with the bat and had a poor bowling average of 55.5 runs per wicket. After just 7 matches, he was dropped from the team. Later that year, South Africa toured Australia for a 3-match Test series and a 5-match ODI series. While South Africa had a strong record in 2008, Australia was still a formidable opponent despite their recent series loss to India. Before this series, Kallis had a lower-than-usual batting average of 38.32 in 18 tests against Australia.
Can he pick up 2? Yes, I think he will. Touches down for 1, trots back for the second. That is another magnificent performance for Jacques Kallis.
Much lower than his overall career average of 55.06. Critics, like former Australian fast bowler Rodney Hogg, even called him a flat-track bully, saying Kallis only performed well against weaker teams like Zimbabwe and Bangladesh, but struggled against top teams like Australia. In the first Test of the series, starting on December 17th, Kallis scored 63 runs in South Africa's first innings. However, his innings were cut short by a devastating spell from Mitchell Johnson, who took 5 wickets in just 20 balls. Despite this effort, Kallis's struggles in 2008 showed that even the most significant players can face tough times. Kallis had a quiet start in the first Test against Australia, but he came alive in the second innings, taking 3 wickets for just 24 runs and grabbing 4 catches. He then played a crucial role with the bat, scoring 57 runs and partnering with A.B. de Villiers in a 124-run stand, helping South Africa chase down 414 runs, the second highest successful run chase in Test history. Kallis struggled to make a significant impact in the second Test in Melbourne. He took 1 wicket for 55 runs in Australia's first innings and scored 26 runs in South Africa's reply. He took another 2 wickets in Australia's second inning, but his team needed just 183 runs to win, so he didn't have to bat again. South Africa won the match, securing their first Test series victory in Australia. In the third Test in Sydney, Kallis had a tough time. He took only 1 wicket for 54 runs in the first inning and none in the second, while scoring 37 and 4 runs with the bat. Despite these struggles, Kallis was an essential part of South Africa's team, which had a remarkable year, winning a series against top teams like India, England, and Australia. Still, fans were starting to rule him as done, a finished player. Many thought Jacques Kallis would never achieve a double century. To them, it was as clear as day. He tried time and time again, but always fell short. Then, finally, it happened. Kallis reached the milestone against India at Centurion, leading South Africa to a victory by an innings and 25 runs. Fast forward to the 2010 to 2011 series in Durban, where South Africa was up against India. When Captain Graeme Smith was dismissed early, Kallis stepped in. He knocked out 119 runs off 189 balls, helping South Africa reach 248. Kallis was the only batter to score more than 42 runs, with only one player getting past 25. But Kallis didn't just excel with the bat, he also shined with the ball, taking 3 wickets for just 3 runs. His all-around performance earned him the Man of the Match award as South Africa secured a massive 157-run victory. Kallis was named in the ICC World Test season 2010 and 2011 for outstanding performance. The veteran wasn't done yet. He followed that up with 2 more centuries against India, both in Cape Town. A year later, he scored his second double century against Sri Lanka on his home ground at Newlands in Cape Town, the Oval Test. 2012 is often remembered for Hashim Amla's triple century, but Kallis also played a crucial role in South Africa's massive total of 637, 2 declared. England had always been a tough place for Kallis to score runs, making his unbeaten 182, where he supported Amla brilliantly, all the more special. Kallis was named in the ICC World Test 1 2012 for his incredible performance. It was as if the young and vibrant Kallis was back. But to everyone's surprise, Kallis announced before the 2013 Boxing Day Test that he would retire from Test cricket. This decision was based on his struggles with form, going over a year without a century. But in his final match against India in Durban, Kallis ended his career in style, scoring 115 runs. South Africa won the game by 10 wickets, and Kallis received a fitting send-off as one of the greatest and most respected players the game has ever known. Later that year, he was honored as one of Wisden's Cricketers of the Year. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our next cricket insights. See you in the next video. Bye for now.